So what is this form and how does it work? Well, we talked about the map. This is our residential property type, and we can very quickly switch between different property types if we want to. And basically all this is going to do, if I go and choose the rental properties, it's going to load up a form that is now indicative of the rental property search. It's like, you go to the IRS and you get different forms. This is the residential form. This is the rental form. As you choose the different property types, the forms are going to change. Here we have lease term minimums, lease term maximum. We have unit descriptions. That all applies to rental, where if I go back to the residential form, I'm just presented with another form, and now I have things like main level bedrooms and floor plans and structures and so on from there. So, even if at the first point of contact here, maybe you click residential and you say, oh, gee, I meant to use a different property type, just grab it from here, load the new form up, and you're good to go. Remember, cross-property takes into account all of these property types at one time. So if you're not sure what it is, use the cross-property. To the right of that, you see another drop-down list, and it says Default System Search. Think of that as your quick search, and that would be, the quick search that has the common search fields on it like you have today. If you remember what I said earlier about the search manager is where your searches live, but you don't necessarily have to go there to open them up. And what I mean by that is all of your custom searches are now available right here in this list. And there's a heading that says My Custom Searches, and these are all the residential custom searches that I've created, and they'll all be listed alphabetically right here. All of your searches and all of your prospects will be brought over from Tempo 4 to Tempo 5 before the system is released to you to go ahead and start looking at. So all that information will be brought over there. So all you got to do is go to your property type, click on this list, and just double check to make sure all your custom searches that are in Tempo 5 are the same custom searches that you had in Tempo 4. There's a good document on the Conversion Headquarters page that talks about that. I'll reference that at the end of the session today. So all of your custom searches are here. If you want to pull one up, just click on that custom search, and it will load that custom search up for you. If you have criteria in it, it'll put the criteria in. If you don't, and it's just a blank template, that's exactly what you're going to get. So again, I have that available to me. Notice I also have in this list, I have any prospect searches that are active and tied to clients. And I also have prospect searches that are inactive or expired. So it really kind of breaks down how all of your searches are being used within the system. There's also an option for the last residential search. That's a nice handy one where if you're doing a search and let's say you go to lunch and you come back and you maybe need to rerun that search again, you can use the last residential search to take you back to the last criteria that you put in there. So it's almost like your oops button, if you will. So again, all of your searches are right here. And again, as you go to your property type, that's how you see them in this particular box. So how do we go ahead and fill this paper in? Well, we just start at the top and we fill in what we need. Our statuses are here. Statuses equal. Now, these are what we call search operators. And think of those as just a handy way to kind of help you, better say what you want to say. Status equals, and it equals this, 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 and this. So that means I want those particular statuses. Now, one of the nice things about Tempo 5 is you do not have to use the control key to select things in a box like this. So if I want to include solds, all I have to do is click on it. Trust me, I did not use the control key to do that. If I make a mistake and I wish to remove that entry, all I do is I click once again and that entry goes away. So click for it, click it again to make it go away. If you want to make everything go away, there's a pink eraser here. Click on the pink eraser and everything goes away. Now, with that being said, how do I get everything? I don't see an all option here. All you have to do is find any one of the items you want, double click on it, and it highlights everything for you. So the rule of thumb here is you click once, you get what you click. You click again, you remove it. You double click, you get everything. If you want to remove everything, use the pink eraser, and that erases everything for you there. So again, a couple of things to learn, and if you can master those few things that I've just talked to you about, you've pretty much got the whole system down, because that's the way that it works. So I'm going to put those statuses in, and then I'm just going to go down the list, and I'm just going to fill in the blanks that I need. Now, some of you also may be wondering what this code and description means over here. The statuses you see are actually in code. They're kind of in a short form, if you will. If you click on the description, it will spell them out for you. So again, if you're not sure on what some of those abbreviations mean, click on the description and it'll spell that out for you. Click on code and it puts them in short code for you. Areas equal, and again I have a list of all of my areas here. I can simply pick the area or areas I want by selecting it. Notice you also have the option of saying not equal. So what I like to say here is choose the lesser of two evils. If you're trying to find certain areas, just say equals. If you want to exclude just a few areas and include everything else, choose the not equals and pick the ones that you don't want to be in your search. Remember, equals is what I want, not equals is what I don't want from my search. Your sub areas again are also below that, so there's your area, and there's your sub areas that you can pick from here. School districts, again, just pick them from the list. There's your list right over here. When you put your price in, it says between, and you have a range here. Now, one of the nice things about Tempo 5 is you don't have to fill in all the zeros anymore. In fact, if you fill in all the zeros, you're probably going to not find anything, because there's a little checkbox here that says in thousands. So what I'm saying here is list price between $300,000 and $400,000. Now, if you fill in all the zeros, you're searching between 300 and 400 million, and you're probably not going to find anything. If you uncheck this box, you're probably not going to find anything again, because you're searching between $300 and $400. So by having this box checked, if you're doing a search for $300,000 to $400,000, you just saved yourself 6 keystrokes of typing all those zeros in. Now, this is a range box. It works the same way as it does in Tempo 4. If I put just a number in the first box and nothing in the second box, that tells me it's $300, or excuse me, there we go again, $300,000 or more. If I put a number in the box on the left and nothing in the right, that tells me it's up to and including $400,000. And if I put the same number in both boxes, it's exactly $400,000. So it works the exact same way, or if you prefer, you can use the operators and choose equals and type in one number, minimum, type in one number, which is the minimum, or maximum, type in a number, and that's up to and including. It's a little extra work. I just like kind of to use it the way that I normally am used to using it, as a range box. And that applies wherever you see something where you can put it in a range, like bedrooms and garage spaces and year built and square footage and all those similar things that you had in the Tempo 4 system. Whenever you see a yes, no, or don't care, yes means yes, no means no, no care means I'll take either one of them in this case. So again, you just simply scroll down your list and you find everything that you want to go ahead and put in here. So I'm going to put in a minimum of 5 bedrooms here. And notice my count button now tells me there's 11 properties. So as I started adding criteria in, the count button kept decreasing back from the original 5,000, and then it went down to this number, and then it went down to 42, and now it's down to 11. So you actually know before you actually go in this case. Some other options that are available to you here, if you scroll down the list even more, when you have something like miscellaneous items where you have a selection, here's all your selections. Basically, these are the same things you had before in Tempo 4. There is an equals any. An equals any is your or option. So if I choose more than one of these, I'm saying I want to have this or this or this, which means if one is present, I'll find it. If 2 are present, it'll be there. If all 3 are present, it will be there. So you're willing to accept any one of these, equals any. We also have the option of equals all. And if you choose equals all, then you're saying and, which means I have to have a listing that has this, this, and this. If one of those things is missing, it's not going to return a result for you. So the equals any is your or, the equals all is your and. And then, of course, we have the not equal, and that will return everything but what you pick here. So again, read it as a sentence. Miscellaneous items are not equal to this, this, and this. And then to throw one more curveball at you, Tempo 5 also has the advanced option, and the advanced option lets you kind of mix and match all this. So if you want a central vac and you want a hot tub, you can choose those two options and say and, but then you can also say I have to have this and this, but I don't want this, this, and this. Now that gets into, a little bit of sometimes putting in too much information, because remember, you're searching for something that another agent put in the system. So in other words, garbage in, garbage out. If it's not there, you're not going to find it. But if you want to be very specific and you wanting to look for something very unique, the advanced search might work for you. Word of wisdom, if you don't find anything, you're putting in too much information. Just, lessen it up a little bit and try again. But it is there. If you see that, that's why it's there. As far as your dates go, another good time saver in Tempo 5 as far as your dates go, you can type your dates in the boxes. Again, here's your range again. You now have the calendar option, which you've probably seen on a lot of travel sites or other sites on the internet, where you can pick your day and click OK, and it fills it in for you. But, I'm all about saving some time. The sold date, I have this operator now which lets me just automatically populate a date in here. As an example, if I'm doing a CMA and I want to look for properties that have sold or closed in the past 6 months, all I have to do is come down to this little box, choose the number 6 months back, and it will fill in 6 months for me. So again, I don't have to type it in. The quick pick dates, as they're called, are available for you here, and you can see the different options that will be available to you. So when you have a date, that will be there.